Today, we're going to be following the career of the greatest wide receiver ever. To do that, we had to create a wide receiver named Tyreek Jefferson Jr. using the ratings from the best players in the league at every single attribute. This is debatably the best player we have seen so far in this little mini series we've done, as there is a lot of speed, a lot of technique, a lot of juke ability, and just a lot of talent in general. I'm going to try to rapid fire this, but for the speed, Tyreek Hill, the strength, Deebo Samuel, the agility and acceleration from Tyreek Hill, the awareness of Justin Jefferson, the break tackle of Deebo Samuel, the trucking of Deebo Samuel, the change of direction from Tyreek Hill, the ball carrier vision from Tyreek Hill, the stiff arm of Deebo Samuel, the spin move of Stephon Diggs, the juke move of Tyreek Hill, the carrying of Amon-Ra St. Brown, the catching of Amon-Ra St. Brown, the short route of Justin Jefferson, the medium route of Justin Jefferson. Mind you, some of these ratings have changed because they've been upgraded. The deep route of Justin Jefferson, the release of Justin Jefferson. Also the catch in traffic and spec catch of Justin Jefferson. Jumping goes to Jamar Chase. They won't show pass block, but Godwin, 57 pass block. Run block, Cooper Kupp. Kick return showed it was 96 for Turpin. Maybe there was some regression. 99 stamina for Kupp. 97 injury for Devontae Adams. And 97 toughness for DeAndre Hopkins. The Ravens win the Super Bowl over the Eagles. Pretty safe to say neither of these teams are getting Mr. Tyreek Jefferson Jr. And for the scouting report, this is what Tyreek Jefferson Jr. looks like. We have him at 6'2". We have him at 215 pounds. We have him at age 22. College, that's for the comment section. You guys tell me who you think is wide receiver university, if you will. I was going to put LSU. I was even going to put Alabama. But I went with Ohio State just because of kind of recent history and the upcoming class. It's so like, well, no, it's because of this team and this player and, no, I don't know. It's all up in the air, whatever. But looking at the athleticism, unbelievable skills. Obviously, we don't know them all, but a lot of A's in there, obviously. Pretty safe to say pretty much every A to C is basically A. And let's see who drafts him. We have him projected round 1. We have him projected as the highest wide receiver. It keeps flip-flopping here, but he's like a top 10, top 15 type of player. So we'll see exactly where he goes and what kind of career this guy can have. All right, the Panthers have picked number 1 overall. I mean, pretty much every team up here could use a wide receiver. Maybe not their number 1 need, but 1 through 4 could use wide receiver. 6 and 7, maybe even 8, 9 and 10 technically. 11 probably not, 12 probably not, Rams. I mean, a lot of teams need them. But let's go on and see where he actually goes. So we see pass rusher, pick 1 overall to the Panthers. We see the Browns take corner. We see the Saints take quarterback. Makes sense. The Raiders probably taking QB as well. It's wide. Was that him? I think that was him. It kind of went super quick. It looks like Junior. I think the Raiders at pick 4 overall have added Tyreek Jefferson Jr. Top 5 wide receiver deserves to be higher than that even. He should have been the number 1 non-QB off the board if we're going to be real. 99 overall X Factor after all. Looking sick in a Raiders uniform, though, I will have to say. We'll have to get onto that right away. And here it is, the Raiders draft class. They landed some other pretty good players, too. A 73, a 74, a 71, a couple of 68s. But yes, Tyreek Jefferson Jr., the 99 overall wide receiver. They draft a guy this good, and what do they do with him? The first thing they do, they put on number 82 for him. Why are you even here? Why? Here is the official starting lineup for the Las Vegas Raiders. Of course, wide receivers, the receiver options, skill positions don't really seem to be a problem besides quarterback. Of course, Gardner Minshew, cool memes and all that and whatnot, but yeah, they need a new QB. Tight end's great. Wide receiver 1's great. Wide receiver 2 and 3 are serviceable. Running back's pretty good. Yeah, they just need a new quarterback, and this offense could actually be halfway decent defensively. Obviously, we know of a couple of their playmakers, but they need some work here, too. I'm not going to be forcing any trades or anything like that. I get it. It's more fun to see, the guy, playing for a bunch of different teams, but I feel like that's unnatural, right? I could easily trade him to, the Vikings. He'd be, oh, look at him. He's a Viking. I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens with his free agency. Hopefully, he goes to more than one team, especially if the Raiders are struggling, but I am changing nothing. I am influencing this 0 ways. All right. But speaking of influencing things, maybe you can influence that like button upwards or maybe the subscribe number higher by subscribing if you guys end up enjoying the video. And let me know which player or position you want to see next. Not really sure if there is another position. Maybe I can do an all-around defender where we just give them the highest ratings at every single position. So the best man in zone from corner, the best hit power from linebacker, that kind of stuff. Because I don't know if doing like the best edge rusher, the best linebacker, the best cornerback really makes much sense, because they're very like standardized ratings, whereas this wide receiver, it's like you're getting the speed from a smaller Tyreek Hill, but the strength and jukeability from a bigger Deebo Samuel. Whereas you're playing cornerback, it's like, okay, 99 man coverage for a small or a big guy, that kind of stuff. Maybe we can do, and we'll see. But of course, all of that yap, and we've seen that the Raiders sucked. Not really surprised, but yeah, 15 touchdowns. So Tyreek Jefferson's best chance is 15 touchdowns. That's really bad. Yeah. He is going to suck with the Raiders. He needs to leave immediately. I hope he doesn't re-sign. I hope this team just runs out of money somehow. Hopefully they pay, overpay some. Yeah, he's not even going to get Rookie of the Year. That's crazy. He's not even on the list for Rookie of the Year. That's how bad of a season. Oh, no, he was number 5. Okay. Shouldn't have been, to be fair. He was really bad. But yeah, I need them to overpay for some quarterback in the offseason. Unless that quarterback can save this team, I don't know. But otherwise, this is going to be a really rough career. So, spoiler, the Raiders didn't grab any QB in free agency. Let's see if they do it through the draft. Pick 6 overall was a defensive tackle, and then a strong safety, and then an outside linebacker. I will say they did have a good draft on player talent alone, but the fact that they passed on QB is very questionable. I want to see, maybe there just wasn't any options, right? It could have just been a case of, wow, who is this? I'm not even going to look at if he's a generational, because obviously he is, but 89 finesse, 86 speed, 90 excel, and 90 agility, damn. But let's take a look at the quarterbacks. Was there any options? I mean, there must have been. Yeah, 74 overall at pick 11. What are we doing? And then a 71 at 14. There's probably at least one more somewhere. 73 at pick 1 in the second round. If they would have passed on QB twice, that would have been crazy. But I suppose they only passed on in the first round. Tucker's okay. Yeah, I don't know about that, Raiders. I mean, I guess maybe they're trying to aim for pick 1 overall, which, hell, they're on par to do it after another really stupid offseason of no QB. 7-10, no one is shocked. Let's take a look at the stats, see if we had any better numbers. Oh, we did have more touchdowns, though. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, we started off in real. No, we didn't, because that was a new season. Jefferson definitely better. Is he still X Factor, though? He is. We have dev regression on, because otherwise players would play forever. They still kind of do. We had, what was the last one? We did the running back. He's played to like 37, technically just didn't even... For all we know, he's still out there right now. We don't know. Be careful. Lock your doors. We didn't actually see him retire, mind you. Best wide receiver number 7, which is, I mean, it's good considering, it's the wide receiver position as a whole rather than rookies, whereas, a lot of the rookie class isn't even going to start, let alone put up numbers. But, yeah, not a great year 2, but a better year 2 than year 1. Oh, things are looking up. Cody Lindsey, normal dev, though. Quarterback, they grabbed a new quarterback that has upside. He has potential. Right end in the second round. And then the rest we don't want to talk about. Still no playoffs. I don't know what the quarterback number is looking like, but it's a rookie. 22 touchdowns. Okay, I can't imagine great numbers have been achieved. 9 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. Yeah, I mean, this is just a guy trapped on a bad team. His chance of being like Jerry Rice is basically like it's dwindling every year he spends rotting on this team. So I'm hoping, I don't know if it's this year or the next year that he needs a contract. I'm hoping they just can't afford him, which it sure as hell looks like they can. Maybe somehow the morale, he doesn't want to be here because of the red interest. I'm not sure how the AI makes decisions for re-signs. I just hope they don't keep him. High overall cornerback, they go with a running back as well, which they do need, and then an outside linebacker, which seems to be pass rush. I can't really tell, just based on that speed. Maybe not. I was about to say, not really an edge rusher. But sick-looking corner. Elliott, probably normal. No, hidden dev. Okay. Really good zone guy. Closer. Still no cigar. 9-8. Seen Justin Jefferson, big brother, sort of, on the list. Jefferson, 10 touchdowns, 1,200 yards. I think he's still going to be X Factor. Yeah, he's 25 now, about to be 26. Once again, they're wasting him. I don't think that's good enough for best wide receiver or even close to it, but we'll keep looking just in case he sneaks up there. Number 10, he's on the list, but just not going to really do much with that. So what we're learning here is that team does really matter a lot. Also, I don't know if this is a good thing or not, but they fifth-year optioned Jefferson instead of just re-signing him. Does that mean, he maybe wasn't interested, or they just decided to save some money and he's going to resign next season anyway? It's going to be even worse. He's going to be here till literally 30, 31 automatically. I don't know. We're going to find out. Obviously, we're going to follow the career. New wide receiver. Oh, this has got to be like the three wide receivers. They're like, we can't keep Tyreek Jefferson. We need 3 to be able to replace him because he is basically as good as 3. Yeah, if that doesn't guarantee he's gone, I don't know what is. I've never even seen something like this. All tall guys, so maybe it's not. Maybe they're actually like, we just want a tall guy opposite side of him or something. What about Gary? Although they literally just drafted like a guy that's exactly 6'2" and he's hidden. I don't know. I'm not sure what their plan is, but that I've never seen that. 3 of the same position. Unless they just don't have many on their... they showed there was like 6 or 7 guys. Don't know how good any of them were, but... yeah, that's strange. I've never seen that. Like, that's really wild. It is entering year 5, but in general, you need to see this roster because they are making decisions I can't fathom. Don't get me wrong, the QB wasn't great, but he at least has a future, right? 81 overall, 23 years old, so much time to develop. Then you have Bo Nix, who's only a normal dev. He's 29. What are you doing? He looks amazing. The ratings are great. But why are you wasting him with this? Like, why are you wasting your young QB? I don't get that. I don't know. Defense, I got some names. Max Crosby's still pretty damn good. How old is he now? Like 31? 32? Still a 98 overall? It's pretty goated. I mean, I guess say what you will, but Bo Nix got this team to the damn playoffs with the 3rd seed. So, I mean, Henderson, number 1 running back. Okay. I mean, I'm down for some success. If it's going to mean Jefferson leaves, though, that's going to be weird. The one time they're successful, he's going to be set. He's going to be gone. That would be crazy. Although Bo was pretty bad, so I'm not really sure why this team did well. Wow. I mean, under 1,000 yards is just... it's just awful. I mean, there's no point in looking. He's definitely not going to win best wide receiver. He'd be lucky to even be like in the top 10. Got the Steelers here in the wild card round. They do win. Going against the Bills now in the divisional round. Could you imagine, though? Could you actually, though? The Ravens, 10-7. We're at home for this one, surprisingly. And they lose. That's a hell of a run, though. I mean, considering this team is, let's be real, it's terrible. I mean, that's kind of crazy. Let's see how this game ended. Lost by 4. Bo Nix was, I mean, he's just been so bad. Receiving Jefferson with 1 catch or 25 yards. I just don't think his heart's in it. I really don't. But his heart might be in it for another 4 or 5 years. We don't know what the contract looks like. They have all the money in the world, so I don't see why not. All right, pick 29, you have a right guard, a DT, and a middle linebacker. They actually did pretty well here. I don't know how good the right guard is, but they got themselves, a defensive tackle with a really good finesse in the late second. Then the most impressive pick is landing a middle linebacker with this kind of athleticism that late. 90 speed, 89 excel is really tough to get, even in CPU-only drafting classes. So, good stuff there. I mean, even a 85 overall tight end, why not? Or an 85 speed tight end, not overall, obviously. And then, crazily enough, I was going to, I always click depth chart and then reorder by best, like highest overall, whatever, auto reorder. Didn't see Jefferson. Guess where he is? Miami. Is Tyreek actually there? I don't see Tyreek Hill anywhere. He might have actually, it's really far down the list. He might have retired. Hell, even Waddle might be a low overall by now. Yeah, 85 overall. So, I mean, he joins a new team. Is Tua still here? He is. I don't know if this is better, though. I really don't. He signed a pretty big contract, too. Is this, probably a 4-year 115, if I had to guess? Maybe even a 3-year. We'll see. Contract is 5-year 200. Okay, I mean, that's pretty damn good. So, he's going to be here till he's like 32. I don't know if that's good, but I think it's good for the scheme. But let's take a look at that roster. 84 overall, so the team's not doing super well. Tua's down to a star dev. A-Chain, 89. Left tackle's great. You got some youth on this O-line, at least. Jefferson looks still pretty good, obviously. Waddle's down to a normal. Maybe it's not so good for this scheme. This team is looking like it's in shambles. This is kind of the reason why. Unless it's a different guy, is this literally not the safety that the Raiders drafted? and he's just here as well. They just took 2 Raiders players. They're like, we'll take them both. Why not? They're both looking good. But yeah, this is why I don't usually do dev regression, because it destroys the league. But at the same time, for this series, I kind of have to. Otherwise, once again, these guys are going to all play till they're 40, which I suppose if you're a generational talent of that level, you probably should anyways, but I think it's the only way to kind of go with these. 11-6, okay, I mean, he joins the team, and they become, well, I mean, they probably were a playoff team before him, but they're a playoff team. Nonetheless, Tua, I mean, the efficiency's there, the yards aren't. Jefferson does have his best career year, 14 touchdowns, 1,200 yards, could be up there for best wide receivers, because a lot of touchdowns, but at least he's having some success, got to the playoffs in year 1 with them. It's good. It's a good trajectory. As far as where he is number 4. That's his highest ranking. It's his best season. His legacy score still blows, but maybe there's something here. They also do have a 75 overall rookie quarterback, so once Tua's gone, maybe even as soon as next year, maybe they'll have the future with him as well. Jefferson's still young. It's getting concerning at this rate, but he's still young. I can't believe Mac Jones just did that. I just can't believe that. 4 touchdowns, 0 picks. Are you serious? Dolphins always with the speed. Speedy corner. Okay guard. Another speedy corner a little bit later. They made the playoffs, losing against the Chargers right at the end there. 10-7 though. Let's see what I was about to say what Tua's up to, but no, it's Mark Boyd. Tua, what's his overall drop to? Oh damn, 79 overall. I can kind of see why they've moved on. Let's take a look at running back. Is it still A-Chain? It is not. It's Martin Macklin. And then Jefferson, arguably his best season because of the touchdowns. Is he going to rank higher? MVP for Love. Was that 2? I don't know why I thought it said 2 Packer players there. But better than before? Number 5. Okay, so I thought the touchdowns were going to be enough. Not going to be the case. I'm not even sure if Jefferson has a single award to his name yet. Take a look, though, at if this team can make it further in the playoffs, and they can't. They lose against the Raiders, a.k.a. the team that Jefferson was drafted to. Could you imagine they win one? They don't. Okay, they don't. Packers versus Colts. Damn. Okay, that was interesting. I thought maybe for a second the Raiders are going to win one right in front of Jefferson's face, but didn't happen. Let's see who actually wins the Super Bowl, Colts versus the Packers. You have the Colts winning. But yeah, I really do want to see 2 things. I want to see, 1, the game, because we don't even have enough playoff games in here to really even say that we've seen too many, and see how Jefferson played. Finally, a good playoff game for him, though. Every other game is like under 40 yards, 0 touchdowns. 139 with a touchdown and 8 catches. Finally actually showed up, but still it didn't matter. 7-26 was the loss. And then I do want to see at this point, does he actually have any awards? I don't think he does. I think his only award is being drafted high, which, I mean, realistically, if we're going to be real, it's the only award that damn matters. But still wearing number 13, which is cool. Did have 2 seasons where he was under 1,000 yards, many under, well, maybe not many, but 2 under double-digit touchdowns. It's not an elite season, career, but it's one of those, like, he's good. Is he quite lived up to the potential? No. Is he a bust? Maybe for the Raiders because he left after 5 seasons, but not even really, to be honest. You would expect more, but he's still been great. And yeah, the only award he's gotten is being drafted 4th overall, which, once again, that is a hell of an award in real life. That is never work again award. But yeah, let's see. If this team's going to draft someone halfway decent, maybe do some damage. I don't know. The Dolphins at first, you think, hey, that's a good team to join. But despite making the playoffs back-to-back years, it doesn't really feel like they're that much closer to winning it all than the Raiders were. All right, the draft, 3 72 overalls, 1 being an outside linebacker, 1 being another wide receiver, and then 1 being a center, and then another wide receiver in round 5. Back to the playoffs, I mean, 13-4, it's been a weird one, right? Like, I suppose with the sliders being somewhat around base, about 120%, the overalls aren't really going super high, so maybe that's why our team doesn't look good, but they're playing well. Boyd, 4,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Macklin, that's not bad. Jefferson, right around that 1,200 yard, over double-digit touchdowns. I mean, this is, because of his touchdowns, he's sneakily turning into one of the better receivers all time. Those touchdowns they're slowly but surely climbing up the list there. Number 4 for best wide receiver. He really doesn't seem like the best or even one of the best wide receivers right now, but if he continues his trajectory, 92 touchdowns, that's really good. There's a chance that he plays more than double this. He could have 200 career touchdowns if he continues his pace, which of course we see, touchdown catches, that would be a record. That'd be an all-time record. So keep the trajectory up, which I don't know if he can because he's getting older, but he has a chance to be all-time in touchdowns at least. But can he get a Super Bowl? Already starting off strong against the Jaguars, winning that game. Another AFC South team, the Titans, winning that game. The Denver Broncos. Please. No! I'm sick of this. I want to see a Super Bowl, man. Ah, that's unfortunate, but of course, what can you do? We'll take a look at these games, see how the team played. Jefferson was okay, but not great. Boyd threw 2 interceptions. That was obviously the killer in that one. Then you have the Titans game, where Boyd was definitely a lot better. Jefferson was great than the first game against the Jaguars, where Boyd 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Jefferson 55 and a touchdown. Nothing insane there, but real big letdown there. I mean, chance to go to the Super Bowl and win it all. Instead, it's going to be yet another lackluster one where Jefferson has a pretty good season, but the team will not win a Super Bowl. Can they at least get to one? I don't know. Broncos do win the Super Bowl at least, so it's like, we lost to the best team, but not really as much of a consolation as you thought it would be. Also, trying to keep up with this, Jefferson's regressing already a little bit. I don't think he dropped in dev trait, though. Yeah, he's still an X Factor, but he has lost some speed, not this year, but previous years. Somewhere along the line, 99 release, 99 short. The catching's so great, but his speed has dropped a little bit. It's gone down a little bit, but he's still obviously amazing. Here we are, 8-9, a bunch of losses in this season. Boyd, okay, maybe they were right to go with to start Tua for a while because Boyd really isn't the guy. I don't know what it is. Jefferson's good, not great. I mean, this is another wash type of season. Let's move on. First round, outside linebacker, then a running back, then a DT. And I will say, I don't know if Jefferson's even still here. I think, he's on one more year. But the odds of him being here any longer, especially since they paid Boyd, is very low. They're negative 44 mil right now. I don't know how the hell they're supposed to afford this team. Not really my problem. I'm just here to watch. They call me the Cuck Lord. I'm just watching. I'm not participating. I don't want to know what they got to do to get out of this. I'm not dealing with it. Although with restructuring in the game, it's actually so easy to. Really, the big thing is, avoiding paying QBs as much as possible and replacing linemen. That's where you save a lot of your money in this this salary cap world. Oh, here it is. The biggest chance, which could come from the final season of Jefferson on the Dolphins as well. He's got a contract year here. I'm not sure what they're going to do, especially with how broke they are. One of his worst seasons, touchdowns are down, whatnot. No point in looking at, best wide receiver or anything like that. It's kind of pointless, but let's move on to the divisional round. All right, we have the Titans in the first round, 10-7. We do win. The Buffalo Bills, winner of this one, goes to the Super Bowl. And never lucky, another championship round loss for Jefferson. This is like, 2 or 3 now? Pure pain. Pure pain. Losing by 3 to the Buffalo Bills. Let's take a look. Boyd was actually pretty good. Jefferson, where was Jefferson? He did have a touchdown, but you can't disappear like that. You can't be as good as him and just disappear. I am genuinely shocked that he has been, I wouldn't call him bad, but this, mediocre almost. It's like, he's good, but he should be so much better, And it's a little surprising that he just kind of disappears at times. And for Jefferson's sake, he better hope that this team can get over the hump because he seemingly seems, who now drops down a superstar, by the way, that he is retiring a Dolphin. I mean, this is without a doubt, especially since he just dropped down a superstar as well. 32 years old. It's a contract that looks to be 4 or 5. 4 to 5 years. This is it for him. I think he retires a Dolphin. He's had a couple of close calls, but no dice. In the draft, kind of a bad class. They did get a good safety, but that's really it. Back in the playoffs, back with a bye week, surprisingly enough. I also just don't know how this team even, afforded Jefferson. Jefferson looks amazing this season, by the way. This is going to be, his year. This is the year he's going to look back at. That was the year I killed it in the NFL. 23 touchdowns, 1,600 yards. I don't know where this came from. I'm not sure why this happened, but I'm glad it did. Finally, might have himself a best wide receiver. You just never know, though. Offensive player of the year. Best wide receiver. Finally, things are going our way. Let's take a look at this scheme. See if anything changed. I don't think it did. I really don't think it did. It did actually. They have the chart. The Raiders, ironically enough. That's kind of crazy. The Raiders playbook, even though it was terrible for him when he was actually in Vegas, is the one that gives him the numbers that he's got right now. That's kind of wild, but here we are. The Dolphins versus the Broncos. Come on, Miami. Oh, my God. They lose in the first round after going 14-3 with a receiver with one of the greatest regular season performances of all time. Oh, my God. You've got to be kidding me. He had a pretty good playoff game as well. I mean, if it didn't happen there, I don't want to be a downer, but I don't feel great, okay? I'm wondering what his development trait kind of situation is going to be, because obviously good enough to go to X Factor, I imagine, but because he's older, maybe they're still going to be like, you go to Superstar X Factor, we're taking it away. We'll see what happens. About to be 33 here now. The Eagles versus the Broncos. The Broncos are on some tear in the playoffs here. I don't know what's going on, but they're just killing it. They're unstoppable, and they win another Super Bowl. Why? Why do you do this to me? Can we just go back? Like, we haven't been in the NFC, to be fair, but can we go to the NFC? Jefferson does become an X Factor again, 95 overall. They're not taking that away. That's good. Good to see. Is still losing a lot of ratings, like speed. Now down to a 91 speed player, but still unbelievable. These are really good ratings. He's basically like better Stephon Diggs, basically. Or I guess maybe like Devontae Adams, actually. Very fitting with that Raiders scheme as well. Not really anymore, but, for the last couple of years. All right, let's go on to the draft again. I mean, a two-team guide. I mean, maybe right at the end, final year or two, he joins as like number 3 or 4 wide receiver to a different team. But for right now, like I said, seemingly a Dolphin for life. For the rest of his NFL life, at least. All right, here we are. Pick 28, wide receiver. Maybe they're thinking about the future. I don't know, but terrible draft. Playoffs, 11-6. I mean, the bye week sure as hell. Hey, Jefferson's killing it again. Let's take a look at... it's nice to go back to this. I remember, when we did the running back one, we actually didn't have to go into the stats because, it was right on the screen. The stats are right there for us to see. The legacy for him has actually climbed really nicely. He's actually kind of getting up there. Oh, you can't look by position. Don't know if we're going to be able to find him then. Yeah, I mean, it's not actually too bad. Right now, he's of active players. He is... Where the hell is he at? Number 56, which is not bad. He added another 2,600 this year, in fairness. So, having himself a good year with some of the awards, last 2. Playoffs. Can he add a Super Bowl? That's really what he's missing at this point. I mean, we get that first win. Usually you get that first or second win, and then it just goes downhill. Right? Yeah, and there it is. Another loss. I'm just not even going to have hopes anymore. I've given up all my dreams. 3 low overall players. Back to the playoffs, 12-5. Let's take a look at the stats and awards. It's good. Good deficiency. It's just the yards are low. Let's see what happened in Jefferson. Touchdowns are through the roof, though, so arguably almost his best season. No, he had 23 touchdowns. What am I even talking about? Second best season, maybe. Where is he on the wide receiver? Yeah, still number 1. Those touchdowns, they carry a lot of weight. But let's go on to... hopefully the Super Bowl as they lose the first round. Yep, that's it. Pack it up. It's Jover. Definitely want to see Jefferson's stats and awards though real quick because he is 34 years old, about to be 35, meaning that 35-year-old range, which a lot of the times is a cutoff where no matter how good you are, you just straight up retire. It is important to look at. 15,000 yards, what was that? Just 175 touchdowns. One more season like he just had, and he'd be right up there with Rice all time. Of course, he did actually add some awards to his, repertoire, his accolades. But 3 best wide receivers, 2 best offensive player of the year awards, and 3 Pro Bowls. The Pro Bowls are a little low. It's unfortunate, but who cares about the Pro Bowl anyways? Popularity contest, just not popular. I know the feeling. And Jefferson is still here. He is still an X Factor, but has dropped down to a 90 overall and lost a billion speed. He lost 2 speed this year, might have been like 2 before, but he's now down to 87 speed, which is brutal. Still really talented, that speed's going to be hard to get open with. 72 overall for a cornerback, outside linebacker of 72 overall as well. Probably going to be an off ball, maybe not. Okay, he has the size of an edge rusher, but not actually one. Back to the playoffs. It's not a pretty season. 9-8. Rainy. I thought it was our guy. I mean, it is our guy, but it's not our guy. He's the running back. I don't give a damn. The running backs suck, by the way, all of a sudden. Jefferson just barely over 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns to go with it. All right. 81 overall. This is maybe even the last time this team's sniffing the playoffs, let alone winning. And yeah, they're not going to win either. Ooh, that is lackluster. Let's take a look at Jefferson. All the age regression is hit. They have dropped him from X Factor to star. Could be because he did have a kind of iffy season for someone that's supposed to be so good. But yeah, star development trait. The end is near, unfortunately. And honestly, with how, near the end is. I'm not even going to show the drafts anymore. They're so lackluster. They just draft a bunch of low 70s with like no special ratings, and they're all mid. And that's why this team has been stagnant. That's why they can't do anything in the playoffs. They're under 80 overall. They could honestly be the only team that is under an 80 overall. It would not surprise me. Let's see. Let us see. I mean, this is literally, it seems, the lowest overall team in the league. That's crazy. It's all on auto. I mean, obviously, you could tell by some of the random players they brought in. Under 80. There's no other team that's even close. I think every other team was like 81, 82. Wow. Oh, 7-10. Yeah, I mean, this team sucks, so it makes sense. But they do have a lot of money. So if they actually have a decent free agency group, they could maybe make a push. Jefferson may be good enough to get back to Superstar Plus, but with his age, they might still be deving him down. So he might go to X Factor after this season, or Superstar after the season, but then they drop him back down to like star normal because of that age. We'll have to see, but I get it, right? Like, a part of me wants to not do dev regression because these guys are supposedly generational talents, but we've also seen real life generational talents be wasted that don't even come close to playing to nearly 40. So I think dev regression makes it somewhat fair. But let's go on to the staff week. I probably should have looked at the stats and awards and whatnot because he could be gone. I doubt it, but he could be. I think he'll play at least 2 more seasons, but we'll see. And Jefferson's still here. He probably did go up in dev and then dropped again after the fact, and that is exactly what happens. Went to Superstar. They dropped him back down to star. What's the speed? 86. I mean, he's still usable. He's kind of looking like Keenan Allen, really, at this point, which isn't bad, even though he's not really playing super well in real life. But yeah, he's still here. He's still wide receiver 1. Boyd, I can't believe how good Boyd of his overall is, yet he's been pretty mediocre for the last couple of seasons. I guess it took him a little while to get where he is now. He's actually decent, but for a while he was very mediocre. Will he retire a Dolphin? Like, I know I said I wasn't going to show the drafts anymore, but like, this is just sad. Pick 11. This is what you get at pick 11. Yeah, you get 1 good tackle and that's it. Oof. Oh, okay. 11-6 for the Dolphins. Don't know what Jefferson's like. He's the best wide receiver somehow. Yeah, he's like the 3rd best here. Wow. Okay, so yeah, he has fallen off unbelievably hard. Can relate. I don't know. Why am I looking at this? Let's take a look at the awards because I'm going to forget if I don't. Over 210 touchdowns. I don't know if he'd still be the all-time leader because there's probably somebody else that passed it, but 18,000 yards, 210. Let's actually take a look. So touchdown catches. He's actually the number 1 touchdown guy. I'm a little surprised by that. Like I said, there's a lot of consistency there. There was a lot of touchdowns. It's just not a lot of like Super Bowl success. But yeah, I mean, he's got all-time for touchdowns. That's obviously amazing. As we once again end in round 1. There's no point in even looking. Sweet. Broncos versus the Falcons. Seeing the Broncos win a lot of Super Bowls in this one. But let's see if Mr. Jefferson has retired or not. I think, like I said, I said, last year that I'd feel 2 more years, so he would have 1 more year to this point, if I'm correct. Let's take a look. I'd say he's still here. I still believe it. And if he is, he's not on the team, or he's regressed so badly that he's really far down the list. Let's see. He might have actually retired. Damn, okay. I mean, I feel like that was a little premature. He was like an 83, 84 overall. I mean, I imagine the regression probably would have been another 6 overalls, but still, a 78 overall wide receiver. There's going to be some use for them somewhere. But no, Tyreek Jefferson Jr. retires after 16 years in the league. Damn, all right. That's a little surprising. I thought, like I said, 2 more years a year ago. I was wrong. It was 1 more year only, and Tyreek Jefferson retires with, I don't think he beat more than 3 best wide receivers, maybe 4. 3 or 4 Offensive Player of the Year award wins, a couple of Pro Bowls. All-time in touchdowns, though. All-time in touchdowns. Probably all-time in Dolphins statistical awards. So let's take a look. Season, I mean, technically, do they count? That's the one thing I don't know. Do they count, like, how many yards they had all-time, or just for that team? What the hell are we looking at here? Oh, that's a season. I want to look at career. There he is. The most yards. Oh, so it does. So they did actually factor in how much he actually had for this team, which he had the most catches, the most touchdowns, and the most yards. I'm a little surprised that EA does that, which I think is really cool. Good job by them actually pulling that off. You would have thought that it would just been like, okay, well, he finished with 18,000 yards. Yay, 18,000-yard Dolphin receiver, so that's pretty cool. Also, the most in a season touchdowns over Tyreek Hill, which is sweet. In a game, no. Rookie season, no, because it was really mid. Well, actually, it wasn't on the team rookie season. Let's actually compare that to the Raiders. Raiders rookie game, rookie season didn't matter for him either. Didn't happen. Regardless, 2038, that was the guy. But anyways, that's going to be it for this one, following the career of the best wide receiver of all time. If you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, I do appreciate getting support on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PKR Plays for non-Madden content. And if you guys want to see a different position done, we could definitely move over to the defensive side of the ball. Or maybe you want to see, I don't think offensive lineman, but maybe tight end, perhaps. Or defensive side of the ball. Special teamers would be weird, but maybe we can do special. That seems more like a YouTube short, to be honest. But yeah, any of that, let me know in the comment section below. If there's any other types of videos you want to see, there's so many different ones that we could do, like the Blast from the Past series. We kind of, pick up here and there, drop it off every once in a while, or any other kind of experiments, like what would happen if, Lamar Jackson was a running back. I know that's overdone. I'm not going to do it, but just an example, something like that. Let me know in the comment section below. And that's pretty much going to be it for this one. Tomorrow, I actually don't know the plan. Maybe a rebuild, perhaps? Definitely want to finish the Black Ops 6 campaign sometime for the second channel. Hopefully we'll have another episode tomorrow or something like that. I want to finish it this week for sure and play some more zombies and whatnot. Maybe move on to another game. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya. And as usual, once again, shout out to all the members of the channel. I appreciate you guys a ton. And if you guys are thinking about becoming a member and you don't know how, click the join button next to subscribe. All the details will be in there. And yeah, I would assume next month I'm going to start doing a little bit of members-only content. Like I said, I'm going to try to at least do a rebuild a month. So it's at least something. You guys are supporting me with the membership, so I feel like it's at minimum fair to do that. I'm still, hesitant on doing, an actual series because it feels like paywall, whereas a rebuild, it's like, rebuild's one-off. You don't need to follow a rebuild. It could be a goofy rebuild even. It could be like, us being the Cowboys where we have to trade off any 90-plus overall every single time or something like that, and it's just a complete failure, but it's still something. It's a real big balance. There's some channels that just straight up we don't care. We're going to do a series that's completely membership only, which fair enough. That's their channel. Do whatever they want, but I feel like it's a little weird. It's tough. It's a tough balance of I want people to feel like they're getting something for supporting the channel, but I also don't want people to feel like they have to pay to keep up with series, So the Yap is over. Maybe there'll be more Yap members videos. I don't know. Regardless, anyways, thanks again. See ya.